I'm visiting now the Western Wall. That tour will be a Christian tour, mainly because the Western Wall, the Wailing Wall, is important for the Christian too. And then why? What is the Western Wall? Then let's start to say that this is the house of God. This is the Jewish temple. And Jesus visits Jerusalem 3 times a year, from the day that he was born until the day he was crucified. Why 3 times a year? Because as a Jew, every Jew had to be in one of the 3, actually in all the 3 festivals, Jewish festivals, and one of them, Passover, which, Easter because of it. The second one is Shavuot, which it more like Pentecost. And the third one is Sukkot, mentioned in the New Testament as well. Then in that case, we're going straight to the time of King Herod. King Herod wanted to impress the world, but he couldn't impress the world because, let's go a little backward, I want you to see the Dome of the Rock, the foundation stone, which the Dome of the Rock now built on top of it, the first stone ever that God created when he created the world. The place that Abraham almost sacrificed Isaac, the place that God has the Jews to build his house, then it's there. You have to go a little bit backward. And here it is. You can see the Dome of the Rock, but the Jewish temple was between 2 to 3 times higher and bigger than that. Why so big? Because he wanted to impress. Then for that, because the foundation was too small, he destroyed everything that was around it and built 4 big walls. You can see here the corner of the western and the southern wall, and we will see it later on. The western wall continues through the Muslim quarter. It's like around 500 meters, 1,500 feet. Then in that case, when he created that plaza, he created a very good base for an amazing temple. That temple was between 2 to 3 times higher, and it was mentioned in so many scripts, not only the Bible. Then Jesus visited, let's see, presentation at the temple, done it. Was forgotten at the temple when he was 12, done it. He pulled the people away when he entered to the temple as a Messiah, Palm Sunday procession the day after, done it. And so many others. Then in that case, I'm celebrating that video together with Wanda Tempesta. Sorry if I'm destroying the name. It is. It's you can see the earth from Jerusalem and the Lord's Prayer, and that Bible is the Old and the New Testament, and you will get it home. You will have a video and you will get it home. That from right now, it's priceless. Totally priceless. But Wanda, this is your day. Then let's go into the men's department, because today it's a synagogue, and the synagogue in Israel is divided into 2. Soon I will show you that there's another option, but the well-known one is divided into 2. Now, that amazing lady is so important for me. I'm talking about you, Wanda, mainly because she asked me to pray for everyone who's sick. And she asked me to say, let's pray to end that word, peace and harmony in the world. Wanda from Orlando already loves you. Is there someone here that will help me to pray as well for that, for the peace in the world, and for sick people, to heal the sick people? There's no more suffering in the world. So easy, isn't it? Then, this is the Western Wall. This is only a part of the wall that King Herod built. Here you can see horrible, ugly bridge. This is the only entrance for non-Muslims into the Temple Mount. I didn't tell you what the Dome of the Rock is. That the Dome of the Rock that you saw there is the place that, according to tradition, Muhammad ascended into heaven and he met God himself, Allah, who gave him the 5 prayers of a day. Usually when a Jew enters to the Western Wall, he purified his hand, but now I didn't find anyone that is doing it. You see the buckets for the purification. And because I'm still a man, I'm entering to the men department. Every man must cover his head. One possibility is the yarmulke, the kippah. Let me show it to you. The idea is to divided us from him. Now, what left from the destruction of the temple at 70 AD are 7 layers of stones. That's the glit. The glit, it's a birthright. A group of young Jews that never visit Israel, and the government of Israel giving them a tour for free for 10 days to get the Israel better. Some of them never been here. A lot of them don't know a lot about Judaism. And in that case, it's really important thing. The 7 stones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, is from the time of King Herod and Wanda. Let me bless the Bible here as well. There's a tradition to put a note between the Western Wall stones, and you can see it. The minute they put the note there, it becomes holy. And guess what? The minute I touch the Bible there, it's holy. It's priceless now, Wanda. And of course, you can get it. And if you want to have it, remember, look for the link for Buy Me a Coffee and PayPal at the description. Just there. And if you won't find it, tell me that and I'll send you the link. Just send me a message. The Jews are praying 3 times a day. You must have 10 men from age 13 and up. This is the mincha, the second prayer of the day. Inside the ark are the Torah scrolls that were written by a scribe. It's not printed. The Jews are not praying through the wall. They are praying through the Holy of the Holy. And what you see here is a bridge from the time of King Herod that brought water by kind of an aqueduct to the temple. Some of you by mistake calling that amazing place the Wailing Wall. Watch the video again and tell me how many people cried here. I always say that for my groups that I will cry here if I forget someone at the Western Wall and if you won't be on time, but that's it. Although there's a wonderful story that I can tell you. It's happened in the 1966 when my father told me that he will take me to the Western Wall. I was young, 4 years old, and he told me that at Mount Zion, for me, Jerusalem was a wall. And then he told me that he will take me to the Western Wall to see another wall. Wow! I was so impressed. But a year later, in 1967, we came back to here. We took it back from the Jordanian who actually conquered that place. That place wasn't supposed to be owned by Israel and not by Palestine. It was supposed to be owned by United Nations, but Jordan occupied it together with the future Palestine. And then we couldn't enter here. My father was sure that he will never fulfill his dream. And in 1967, he did it. And he cried at that moment. You can understand why. But I was crying there too. Why? Because he didn't buy me a wooden camel that I asked him to buy me. And at that moment, it was a Wailing Wall. But as you can see now, it's quite a happy wall. In about a few hours before Shabbat will enter, and Shabbat will enter soon, there will be hundreds of Jews here that will dance and pray, and they will be with their best costume, the best dress, very clean, very beautiful. And this is such an amazing ceremony. Then if you are staying in Jerusalem on Friday, just an hour before Shabbat, come to here and be with the beautiful people who actually will be here. Hundreds, thousands will be here. And one more thing that you must know is that you cannot take a picture of it, you cannot take a video of it. On Shabbat you cannot use electric things, then that's why I'm not staying here for Friday. I woke up early morning at 4 a.m. and I want to be with my family on Friday night, especially in my bed. And although they say there's no exit, there is an exit here, and I want you to see more. Then don't go away. There's more to see until we will leave the Western Wall Plaza. I will ask you again to subscribe my channel. If you do have some questions, I'm here to help you with it. You can see that they are checking every person that entering here, and let me show you the entrance to the Temple Mount. Remember, Friday and Saturday you cannot do that. And check before, because every time it's not every month, every year, every season, it's a different hour. Now, what we can see here, this is the Western Wall, the end of the Western Wall. Look at the stones there. This is a reminder for the destruction of the temple at 70 AD. Another thing that you can see is that plaza. This is the plaza for men and women, that if you want to pray together, you can. A street from time of King Herod and Agrippas is right here. You see the people, there are two people standing on it. And there are shops. Remember who pulled them away? Jesus. But the shops is the end of a bridge. Can you see the floating stone here? That was a bridge, one of the entrances to the Temple Mount. Now when we know it, let me show you another thing before we are leaving that place. In front of you is the dung gate, the garbage gate there. Yeah, don't blame me for that. That is where they took their garbage out. I mean, it's one of the lower gates. Then it's easier to take the garbage from here. Take out. Wait a minute. Soon, I want you to see something beautiful. And because it rained a little bit, which is amazing. It's beginning of May 2022. The sky are blue. Yes. Look how beautiful it is. That's the southern wall of the temple, and the western wall, the southern wall. Just behind that wall, that is the main entrance to the temple. Another thing that you can see here is the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Muhammad went to Al-Aqsa, and Went to the Temple Mount. You can see the shining gold dome between the trees there. And that's Mount of Olives. At Mount of Olives here you can see the Jewish cemetery from the time of King David until now. And the Ascension Church. Jesus ascended into heaven and promised us to come back from the same spot. It is beautiful, isn't it? Then thank you for being with me, and I want to bless Wanda again with that amazing Bible cover with Jerusalem and with olive wood and the Lord's Prayer. And just for the information, let me show you that next to the Ascension Church there's another tower. This is Pater Nuster's church, and according to Crusader, that is where Jesus taught the disciples the Lord's Prayer. Here it is. And thank you very much. Bye bye.